This time I remembered the fan.
Yes, we are back in business.
What? You mean we didn't just record a video together? What?
It's been like a few days, right?
What do you mean?
We're so wild.
Oh, wait, here. Let me change the background so that way it looks a little bit different.
Oh,
Blue.
wow, it's
There
a
we
different
go.
day. Different day.
Oh my God,
Blue.
what?
Wow.
Anyway, welcome to The Cup, the currently unnamed podcast, where we put the tea in reality and we're the first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy, a say something gay, and even though we may or may not have just recorded another video, because guess what? We're in the same outfit that we were wearing earlier. I did grab a coconut water in between filming. Vita Coco, please sponsor us. I would love that. I love coconut water.
Actually, Keenan, who likes coconut water, but not from a coconut here. I tried it when I was in Grand Caymans. Got a fresh one. They cut it open. I said, I would never build a lip on it. I'm not a fan of it from the coconut. So, you know, the more you know. Still drinking on my carnival. The more you know. Still drinking, still living. This is the what do we have? V8 fusion fruit, pretending to be healthy, but we're not actually.
No. We can be for like a little bit, but we don't always have to be.
Exactly. You know, I'm drinking juice. It's give me fruit, give me vegetables. We move.
Party. Yeah.
Party.
We are back. Week 3 of Survivor SA, Return of the Outcasts. We're going to talk about the first 2 episodes of the week. Oh boy.
Can you believe we're 3 weeks in first off, though? Like, it's flying. We're flying.
It feels like it just started. And by the end of this week, we're going to be at merge.
And it's halfway. Like, what?
Truly wild. Truly sensational.
But we're loving it. We're living it.
If you do not remember what happened in the last 2 episodes, first of all, go check out our video, because we, Breaking the Fourth Wall, just recorded it. It's going to go up probably a few hours after this one does. And guess what? It's a great video. We established the PCU, which we will continue to talk about through this
PCU
episode. The Pinty Cinematic Universe. In case, you're not aware. But and we lost the beautiful, lovely, injured Shona.
Oh, still, my heart still pours out for her. Like, getting injured and going out that way. Like, whew, I would never.
At least she got voted out. Yeah, exactly. Right. So we pop back to Yontao after the tribal council, and Phil is just like, "Yeah, I messed up the whole plan."
And you're like, "Please tell me more about how you messed up, because we all have questions." Please,
but then
Phil.
The wild part of it all is Dante is like on his high horse again, where he's like, and I quote, "Everyone should listen to the fucking Messiah." Last time I checked, you were the second juror on your original season.
And also, you don't get to just call yourself Messiah. Someone names you that, BB.
It's giving Jose BB17 scenarios.
Delusional. I mean, what? Delusional scenarios?
Delusional scenarios from the Messiah.
Right. The Josiah.
And I mean, I will acknowledge that, like, part of what he's saying is true, because had the plan gone the way it was supposed to, Dante wouldn't even be there. And so I do understand what he's saying. It's just his delivery was absolute shit.
Right. Like, there's a way to talk to someone and get your point across and people understand and want to talk to you back about it, but it's not going, "I am the Messiah and I told you Dino was good and you are wrong. And I was like, "Girl, sit down."
And then he's talking to Palesa, and Merrell and Marion are feet away. And Dante tells Palesa that she's the only one who listened to him. And I love this whole storyline of Dante thinking he can trust Palesa when Palesa just really wants to blindside him. And I cannot wait for the moment that she does.
It may be coming soon. Who knows? Who knows with this week?
I hope.
So much is going on. But you know, like, It's lovely that she's working double agent, right? Like she's like, I'm good with you, Dante. I wasn't just in Dino's camp saying yes, I'll vote Dante out. Like I love that she's like, oh yeah. She recognizes like, yeah, I'm gonna own it and take it and say yes and go.
Yes.
It's
So,
good. It's
and
good.
then Meryl and Marion think Palesa is trying to be Dante's number one, and she's not. And I'm just like,
Oh,
no.
sweeties. No, she was trying to get him out.
Literally. I need Palesa, Marion, and Meryl to communicate. I just need them to communicate, and then everything will be fine.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Very
Maybe.
not.
Maybe. I mean, communication is good for some teams this week. Not so much for others.
And let's talk about some frustrated. Why did it frustrated? That was an interesting pronunciation of the frustrated,
Frustration. The
the
frustration.
frustration of Palesa. The next morning at the water well, she literally just goes up to Phil and she's like, "What did you do?
What didn't you do?
What
You
didn't you
didn't
do?"
write down the right name.
And then Palesa's like, "I don't know if I can work with Dino and Phil." And I'm like, "No, work with Dino. Don't work with Phil."
You're like, Dino had it. Dino had the numbers. Phil just spooked himself.
Was an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Calling it
just
ace
say
and
it.
ace. Yeah, no, like he could have got Dante, a big, physical, strong person. When we know we're almost to merge, we're close to merge. Get him out of here. And you don't want him on your
Exactly.
jury. You don't want him on
Not at all.
jury. No, not if he's treating you this way. Mm-mm.
Exactly.
Come on, Phil.
We pop over to Masu really, really quick before the challenge. Tejan tells Tony about the idol clue,
Mhm.
and this is part 2 of Can Tejan find an idol?
How much effort is he putting in?
No,
No,
because Pinty
exactly.
walks up. Whatever. But
Pinty said, "This is my universe. You're just stepping in it."
the PCU. Let's talk about this immunity challenge. Oh boy, it's a blindfold maze with a word puzzle at the end. The reward is the Fresh Stop Survivor Shop. We love a good sponsored reward on Survivor SA.
I love that reward style. How they we'll talk about the reward after. This immunity challenge is
This is one of my favorite reward
so
styles.
good, and it's so funny. It's comically just a funny immunity because from the jump. For me, they have picked 2 callers. From Masu, they picked Teresa. You're like, yeah, sure, great. She's loud, she'll yell, should be good. But then you look over to the right and you see Dino. And when I saw Dino up there on the caller, I go, he's got a plan, he's got a strategy, and they're going to listen to Dino. In my heart of hearts, I knew that's how this might have worked out. So let's talk through it.
But before the challenge even starts, we have to talk about Killarney almost fainting.
Oh, shoot. I forgot about
I
that.
was like, oh, she's okay, which is good.
Not Nico being like super Nico and being like, I will get you. Where like you see Jeff in like Survivor America, like, oh, Lauren just fell. Medic?
Can we get the medic?
I can't move. I need grapes quick. What? But where Nico's like running into action, like, very much so. Like, I'm gonna check to make sure. So, I don't know. Was she hungry? Low blood sugar? Did she bend her
It
knees?
seems like low blood sugar and potentially dehydration.
Yeah, because she went in and out really quick and fast and back up, and the previews. I did get nervous that we might lose someone else because of injury, but it's a quick fake out before we got to this cute immunity challenge.
And I thought both of the callers were doing a very, very good job to start. Teresa was kind of implementing this duo strategy where 2 people are going to stay together. They're going to both get their bags and they're going to go to the table. Whereas Dino is doing this very like stop start, like switching between people, which I feel like is probably the more effective thing on paper.
Right.
Because Dino ends up getting to the puzzle first, and then
the funniest part of the challenge, I'd say, is when Dino's at the puzzle and Tony and Killarney, they're walking. And at this point, the tribe Red Tribe is like screaming, yelling, being obnoxious, being a mess to try to mess up Blue. And then Dino's like, yeah, keep going forward. Keep coming
Oh
forward. Keep
my
coming
god,
forward. Keep
because
coming forward.
Tony and Killarney, oh my god, Tony and Killarney are walking towards Dino, and Dino like fakes them out. Teresa's getting pissed off. I thought this was like a step too far, in my personal opinion, but I also
Yeah.
understand that it's like Survivor. But I did love the moment where Teresa just like body checks Dante. I was like, you better, sis, you better get him.
Right? Like, get him out of your way. Like, I don't know.
Right.
I was it too far? Maybe. I don't know. It was funny, though. So I will take funny
Very,
points. And I mean,
very.
did it maybe a few seconds off, but they were close both ways because Dino was, and I think Teresa would have maybe done a minute or two more of work to try to get those words because I don't think she was
Yeah.
super close by the time Dino finished.
Well, they both had a really difficult time getting the bags untied.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed
There
like
was
there
like a
were a
lot of
lot of
knots.
knots on these, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Dino does end up getting the sweet taste of victory, winning the challenge for Yontao. Masu is going to Tribal. They're not back to Tribal. They're just going to Tribal.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's talk about this reward that Yontao wins. This, like you alluded to, and I definitely agree with you, this is one of my favorite reward formats that has
Mm-hmm.
been introduced in the international versions, and I really wish it would make its way to the US version because
Yeah,
I don't think we've seen it.
I don't think so either.
The only
In
time
Australia,
I had thought maybe Winners at War, but I don't think that was the case.
I don't remember
I don't
them
either.
doing it. I don't remember. I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
I'm just
I'm
gonna go
willing to
ahead
be
and
wrong.
say no because I don't think so. But
Well,
it is
well,
the
this is
one at
what.
a time. Yeah.
Well, it's if you've watched Australian Survivor, they do it every year where they hide something. That's the first thing that everyone goes. We know what the reward
One
is. We
well,
know.
and SA has started doing it. I believe they did it in Immunity Island. Was the
Yep,
first
because
time
they
they
have the
did it.
candy shack
Yeah.
last. Um,
Yeah.
well, and so everyone knows, and that's when we have to draw straws. Everyone's favorite sport of drawing straws.
And Marion gets the short straw and she's pissed.
She's wildly mad, like just she wants cake. She wanted cake. She
She
said
wants
she wanted
yes.
sweets.
You know who else wants cake? Merrell, because she gets to
Yeah,
go in first. She is digging through. She knows there's something there, and lo and behold, in the middle of the cake,
I'll say
she's
this. I knew from the minute they panned that place that the hidden thing was going to be the cake because it had the matching designs that was on the bottom of where they find the idols at camp
yeah,
on those
yeah,
posts. It was like I was like in the back of my mind, maybe it's just because I've seen international brands and seen it successfully, like a little further, like under a pile of
yeah.
nachos. I was just like, oh, it's so
Oh my god,
obvious.
the
It's
pile of
so
nachos.
nachos.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god. Benji just
Oh, now I
anyways.
want nachos.
I love nachos. I'm hungry still. Gosh, this is a
Yeah.
problem.
Me too.
But I
So
wish it wasn't so obvious. But it's cute. I love Merrell. I
I
love
would have
Scotty.
loved. I hope they do this at some point. I would have loved if it was in the drink pitcher.
And then just like had to like
Yeah, literally like the like nozzles going down, you don't even notice it, don't
yeah,
notice it, and then by like the third or fourth person potentially would get it.
right.
I think
We
that would
saw
be a really
Dino.
cute
We saw Dino with like was it Icy's lemonade slushy? I don't know, like
something. Yeah,
just like trying a little, but yeah, that would
yeah,
be hard.
yeah.
Oh
So Merrill finds the tribal council pass, which is another twist that we've seen a lot on International Survivor recently, which I do like. So
yeah.
she can either choose herself or somebody else to immediately go back to camp. They cannot be voted out, but they cannot vote. And
So
this, like our full power idols, expire at Final Six.
we do love it. It's very useful if you think you can give it to someone to take away their vote and get a majority of your vote by taking away someone. They're safe,
Yeah.
they're fine, but they take away a number from a side.
Well, especially because we see we have now Merrill with the tribal council pass, Steffi has an idol, and Marion has the diplomatic
Diplomatic.
immunity, which we still haven't seen played.
I think there's a
And
timeline coming soon with it.
well, presumably there's only one more challenge
Yeah.
that it can be
There's-
used at, because it does expire at merge, because,
I think we might
you
see
don't
that the
need it.
second half of the week.
Right. Tune into our Saturday episode where we find out.
Boom,
Or I
boom.
think it drops on Sunday, whenever it drops. I don't
This
remember.
weekend. Yes.
Time is a construct.
And it's all made up, and the points don't matter,
Yeah.
kind of style, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, those three girls on this tribe have hella power. Holy crap! Like I'm here for it though. I'm mad. I was so hungry though, watching this.
Those sliders look so good.
So good. And then like those chicken wings, I was like, I was eating popcorn, I think, while watching it. I'm like, this popcorn just isn't hitting it like that wing would. It's like,
I think I'm gonna go have like a big old salad after this.
because we're hungry.
Well, no, because I fly out and I have lettuce in the fridge that I need to use because my roommate's not gonna use it.
Well, that's fair. Well, salad's good. Salad's good.
I'm gonna put some chicken in it, some bacon, Caesar. We'll be chilling. But
I want that right now too. Yum. Everyone else is hungry. We're hungry just like they are.
Exactly. So we go back to Yontao before we go to Masu again, and Dante once again. Hey, guess what, Dino?
You're done. You're out.
It's like y'all aren't even going to tribal.
Right? Like take
Calm
a day.
down. This is truly the point where Merrell and Marion are like, we don't want to play with Dante anymore. And I was like, yes, queens.
What we've been saying for like a week now. We're like, I've been tweeting. I'm like, get rid of Dante challenge. Please.
Merrell does tell Marion about the tribal council pass. Full package is sticking together. I do really like this alliance. I hope they all make it to merge. At least two of them will make it to merge at this point. Spoiler. But we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, it's definitely planting seeds for things to come.
And Dante is noticing that Merrell is slowly shifting away from him, potentially going into a merge situation, and he's trying to get closer to Palesa, who, in case y'all haven't caught on yet, is not trying to work with Dante for real.
She said, he's a little too much for me. I think I'm gonna take a step back. I think it's better if I don't.
Very that.
Which I feel like for me, if there's like this big alpha male personality who's trying to run the things, I do the same thing too, though. I'm like, let me have my words, you can have your words, and we can be equal.
Exactly.
Or if you want to overrun me, I'll get you out of the game. Okay, sounds good. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
Very much that.
Yeah. Let's pop over to Masu before we go to Tribal. And it is once again almost the conclusion. It's Pinty versus Steffi again.
Oh, part 2, the remix.
Very that. Rice portions, all that kind of stuff. Tony is then lying to Felix, Teresa, and Pinty because Tony and Tajan have decided to go with the majority with Steffi and Killarney.
I mean, I think it makes sense. So, like, for them knowing what they have to get through to get to merge.
Yeah.
And they want to try to knock off any original any blue originals, any pre-mergers out before they can get to merge, so they can try to solidify numbers moving forward within merge. It makes sense. They're in the middle part of the game where they have to start thinking individually. So I get it.
Yeah. So Felix and Pinty are talking about the potential of voting out Steffi. And Teresa just straight up is like, no.
Teresa said, I like her. I don't like her talking about sports and running and stuff, but I like her.
Yeah.
I can vibe.
Because she's trying to like fixate herself on taking out Killarney because she wants to be the only GOAT player left in the game. And now that Shona's gone, the only other one other than herself left in the game is Killarney.
Which I respect the move, because when I play games like that, if someone's in my slot, in my social hanging out vibing spot, the other person who's in that same lane is also got to go. So I
Yeah.
hear that. I feel that. I recognize that that's a good move.
Yeah. Let's go to Tribal Ashley. We've got Tony talking about how this is the Masu she was supposed to be on.
Ooh, and if you were on the original Masu watching this back, go, well, what is that supposed to mean, Tony?
Tony.
What do you mean? Go further with that,
That's
please.
suspicious.
That's
That's weird.
Well, what's the taste of that?
This whole tribal is basically them just talking about what's the general consensus. We need to find the general consensus, where the general consensus lies within the tribe. Generally, Ashley, what is the consensus?
We like peace. But,
well, that ain't gonna happen in Survivor.
They said, well, no. Depending
well,
on
what you want to do isn't necessarily what you're gonna do.
Thank you, Miss Gianna.
For that and only that, we don't really support you otherwise. But
we like your quotes, maybe at best.
Quotable queen. Anyway,
nothing more.
Yeah,
all less.
We go to vote. We all kind of already know where it's gonna go.
Thanos is taken out of Marvel.
It is the end of the PCU, Ashley.
Oh, we had a really good run with the PCU.
She made it much further than she did on her first season. And for that, you know what, Pinty, I appreciate you.
I'll say this. Most of my draft teams and people I've heard, Pinty was very, 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 probably like the last pick for most of them, very late in drafts.
Ours was early, I think.
Oh, most of ours, she was
I drafted mostly with people that didn't know the castaways.
Well, that makes sense.
Hence how I got all of my favorite women.
You knew and got the N. No, Pinty delivered, got confessional, got screen time, got decently in challenges, got in a fight with everyone.
Potential movie spinoffs from the PCU.
Exactly.
Good on you, Pinty.
You fought the fight, and I thought you were gone day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 12,
6, 7, 8, 9.
10.
She made it to 15.
I was shocked she did, just based on all the fights and the fact that people kept you around. Good on you to make yourself a scrappy and get there. So nothing but respect on a hard fight game.
Yes, very that.
A lot of fighting game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let's switch over to the Thursday episode, and we go back to camp with Masu and Felix and Chorizo. They're like, yeah, we're on the bottom.
They're like, yeah, I don't love to see that for you. They're like, how do we make this good for ourselves after Pinty went? And we weren't in with the vote. How do we do it? I don't know. We're going to find out.
We'll talk about how they attempted to do it. So, switching back over, next day at Masu, Tony watches while Tajan tries once again to find the idol. And he finds it! Yay! Only to find out that it's you have to give it to somebody else on the other tribe idol.
They went, wah, wah, wah.
But so Tony comes, they discuss, they talk about wanting to give it to Dino.
And my ears perked up and I said, oh, what?
I said, hello?
Dino gets another advantage? What? I was very happy. Very happy. We'll talk about later. We'll talk about how delivery went.
We sure will. Let's switch back to Yon's house. Shane and Phil are talking about Dante and how the volatility and the emotionality of Dante is just not going to fit into their game. Shane says voting Phil and Dino doesn't fit with his fantasy. And Phil is not having anything that Shane is saying. And I understand, but also Shane is trying to protect you. This tribe, the dynamics of this Yontao tribe are truly wild because you have Merrell and Marion who no longer trust Dante. Dante is kind of weary of Merrell and Marion. Dante's wanting to work with Palesa, but Palesa wants to blindside Dante. Then on the other side of that, we have Shane, who's trying to work with Phil and Dino, but we'll talk about it. Neither one of them believe anything that's coming out of his mouth, and Shane is still connected to Marion because obviously duo. But Marion said from the start that she would take Shane out if she needed to, but then also Palesa is kind of intertwined in this because Palesa was trying to work with Phil and Dino, but then because of the whole Shona bullshit, Palesa doesn't know if she can trust Dino and Phil, but Dino and Phil still think that Palesa is good with them.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Flag away! I flag away! I don't want to think about this anymore.
Right. It's a whole ass mess, and I fear it's only getting messier because there's so much that can happen with before merge. Like, what is this tribe gonna do or not gonna do? And what happens once they get to merge? What relationships stick around and what relationships say, we're leaving you at the tribes? Ooh.
Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Kamehameha.
Yes. Let's go to the immunity challenge. And it is a good old, you got to chop some rope. And then you got to carry a giant ass ball over some obstacles. And then you have to do the wrecking. They turned into Miley Cyrus and they have to use the wrecking ball.
And
they came in like a wrecking ball.
And they came and they plopped it. Oh, it was wasn't it cute?
Yeah,
challenge.
Masu had the lead through the first half. Yontao gets to the smashing of the tiles first. And ultimately it came down to Yontao just having the better strategy.
Yeah, the better momentum, the better like
the back and forth.
Like the pushing on a swing set.
Yeah.
Getting that you're getting the kid to pump the swing set so hard and then just power bombing at the right moment. Like timing was key. So key. And it came down to one final splash before they could have came
because
above.
Yontao gets 3 of theirs and Shane's like, let's take a break. And I'm like, why?
I was like, girl, you got the momentum. Let's rock it and sock it and get it out of here. Call it a day.
Then Masu catches up.
Because
then it's 3-3. And then
too close.
And then Yontao gets the 4th one. They start celebrating. And Merrell is like, Dante gets the flag.
I was confused because I forgot that part of it. I'm like, why isn't Nico like, the winners are? And I was like, oh shit, move. They crushed it, the other team.
Honestly, I would have loved had Masu gotten the other one. Yontao had forgotten about the flag and Masu won.
And just
those are the kind of stupid wins on Survivor that I love.
Well, right, because it shows that their mind wouldn't be clear and like crystal and like able to do it. I mean, they ended up getting it. Dante was like, I better haul over. And he became the Messiah, the savior of Yontao. I am the winner.
Yontao wins. Masu is going back to Tribal, but not before Tony's like, can we get one more hug?
Nico, I need a minute to give the weirdest exchange of hug that everyone saw.
She literally, okay, so imagine this box of coconut water is the idol. She goes up to Dino and she's just like, yeah, oh my god, I hope you're okay. I hope you're doing well.
And Felix is behind going, whoop, 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 whoop. I see your little drink.
Well, then Palesa also sees it. And I'm just like, why are you passing things up here?
Get down in his where idols are supposed to go area.
Put it in the crotch idol spot. Crotch idol spot.
Okay. Future notice. If you're trying to hide things, idols. Crotch idol. That's the place to go. Women, men. If people are looking at a bulge for a woman, don't be looking at a woman's. If you're looking for a bulge as men, don't be looking at the bulge. They're just having a bad day.
Well, respectfully.
But you don't get to go up and touch the details. So like, that's the place to do it. I don't know why like she put it up here and then Dino has to go to his pockets, which is on the side where people are staring at him and walking up to him. So he's like it was just so awkward. I was like, oh, and I tweeted, I was like, if Felix didn't see that, we need to get his vision checked because girl, that's a second idol he's missed and right in front of him.
Well, and Dino then back at camp, Dino calls it the least smooth exchange.
You can
And
say that again.
Palesa knows that there's the advantage, or the idol, tells the majority group, and then Shane, in good faith, goes to Dino and tells Dino about what Palesa said, and Dino doesn't believe him.
He just wants to trust Palesa so much and doesn't want to believe Shane. Which, I mean, good on Palesa. Like, whoop, girl. You made it through, but
But then I want to cut to this point later because it ties in. Dino, Phil, and Palesa are all talking, and Dino tells Palesa that Shane told him about what she said about the idol exchange. And I'm just like,
it's like, that's bold.
these people are playing messy. Like,
They're not a mess out, but they are a mess up of a tribe.
very.
Yeah.
So
But
we
I
go
mean,
to we go to Masu. It's basically Felix or Chorizo. Or so we think.
wait. There's 3 options, right?
Well, so the easy option for the majority 4 is Felix or Chorizo.
Sure.
They're going to split the vote because of a potential idol situation. Cool.
Because there's not enough advantages in this game. That's probably what they're thinking.
And then there's this whole situation about Tony telling Steffi about the idol pass. Taejon says that he thinks Dante passed something to Felix.
When?
When?
At the same time, Dino is putting a distraction up. Dino and Tony were distracting.
Right? But then Tony tells Felix about the idol pass because obviously Felix knows. And she's like, I want to work with you, Felix. And Felix doesn't believe her. This is truly the episode of just like nobody believing each other.
They're like, we've been tricked before. We're not going to do it again. They're like, no, I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah.
Like, trust me this time.
And then there's the idea, it becomes less Felix versus Chorizo, and it becomes more Chorizo versus Killarney.
Right.
It's like, who do we want? And this is really revolving around around the opinions of Taejon. Where Taejon is like, do I want to keep the loyal goat who's in Killarney, or do I want to keep someone who's going to be able to bounce like strategic ideas off of? Like, do I want that kind of person in Chorizo? And
I wasn't sure which way he's going to go, honestly. It was up in the air when I went to Tribal on which way I'm going to land at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I kind of figured, given the fact that Chorizo was getting a lot more confessional, I kind of figured, but yeah, let's go to Tribal. I mean, the idea going into Tribal is a 2-2-2 split, but Chorizo does talk for 1 second before we go to Tribal about the potential of putting a vote on Felix.
And what an interesting thought that could have been. Like, I think for Chorizo, this game, this time around, she's trying to be less strategic and more social and get those connections and build those things and try to like be a little loyal, a little trustworthy. So like for her to go, can I betray the one person I know that I have at least 80 to 90% of trust on this camp? Can I do it? That's, I think, half of the issue going into Tribal for her. If it's you or not you, I know where I'm going. I'm staying in the game, probably, right?
Yeah.
And doesn't she know that there's a potential for a split for idols? Doesn't she know that there's like a big option it might?
I'm pretty sure she was aware of the split.
Right. So like if you know there's a split, you should probably throw to be on the majority.
Yeah.
But shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Exactly. Not much happens at Tribal. It's, Chorizo and Felix not in the alliance. And then Tony says, sometimes voting someone is more of a compliment, to which Chorizo, being Chorizo, replies, please don't compliment me.
Oh, that's so good. That's such good TV for Teresa to like pick up on it. Like it's funny, it's quirky, but like, yeah, no.
Nico's like, I don't think that's a compliment anybody wants at this point, Tony.
Maybe like voting for me to win. That's cute. I'll take
One
that vote.
Tony's like, at the very end, it's a compliment.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Not right now.
So,
It's kind of like a
yeah,
burn in the salt of the wound.
right. So it's time to vote, Ashley.
Yeah, I
And the
don't know.
tie happens.
Yeah, their plan came to be, and no idols were picked. So, what's the
Kalar-
backup vote?
Yep, so a 2-2-2 tie between Killarney, Felix, and Teresa leads to a revote.
Oh, Teresa, I was
I
not happy. I wasn't happy at all.
I truly thought they had edited her and set her up to make merge. I
Oh,
really did.
100%. Me too.
Like,
The episode before, when Pinty goes out, Teresa's talking about, well, I want to be this when I get to the merge. I need someone like, she's basically setting up with like, what is the ideal people she wants to play with going into the merge? I'm like, oh, that's such a good confessional. I'm like, oh, surely that gets her to merge with that confessional, like that strategy, that thought. No, that was just setting us up for her exit. I, uh,
which
I,
means congrats, Dino, being the only remaining Immunity Island person left.
yeah, that hurts my heart because I really did enjoy
Mhm.
the Immunity Island as the one season I watched fully and like got to like commit and fall in love with like the characters like gone but not forgotten.
Yeah.
Pour one out.
Honestly, just my heart hurts.
And Teresa, like her edit was funny, was strategic, and it was showing she was fighting and being scrappy and like putting in the work. So like I'm really happy that she got this experience that lasted significantly longer than her first, or is it a
I
few more
think
days?
so. I think it's by a couple days.
Hmm.
Let me do a very, very quick check. Doriso. She made it. She was voted on what, day 17? She made it 4 more days than she did the first time.
Well, that's good. That's an achievement, a milestone got through. And
Yep.
I think she lives pretty close to where they filmed, so it's not like she had a very far trip to go to get back
Nope.
home. So she could at least, know that she did everything she could. Now she can go home and not have to
Yeah.
sit in the cold, cold weather that was in the winter filming because it wasn't very warm from what I've been told. So
Yeah.
she got to go like eat, not have to worry about getting firewood, and enjoy the rest of the season now.
Yep.
So,
So
pour one out though. It's sad. It's sad. I
it's
don't love
really
to see it.
sad. But
Sure.
we will be back to talk about the second half of this week later on this week, the final 2 episodes before presumably merge.
Uh,
If it's not, I would be truly surprised.
in the preview, we see that both tribes are going to tribal council.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it says in what capacity in that preview.
I don't think it
Spoiler,
does.
I don't think it does, but I do know what's happening, so it's gonna be a good one, folks. This weekend's gonna be a very good episode talk through strategy wise, I think, setting us up into what's gonna happen to merge. So I'm really excited to watch and hopefully get a chance to speak about it.
I'm hoping to pop on. I'm going to be busy this weekend, but I'm hopeful. So we
Yeah.
will see what happens with that. Ashley, as always, it's a joy to see you and talk with you and all of the things. So
Oh, always have a good laugh and a good time when talking
truly
about
that. Talking about the
anything.
PCU.
The PCU,
The
our made up
PCU.
universe.
The
Fine. PCU.
PCU.
Oh,
So with that, thank you so much for joining us for part 1 of week 3 of Survivor SA Return of the Outcasts. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share on the way out. Follow Ashley because she's great. Follow us because we're great. And cheers to Pinty and Teresa.
to the islands. Let's go.
Woo. Yeah,
Woo.
yes, God.
Yes. Oh, pour one out. You know, but hey, we're having fun. Woo, woo, woo. Hmm.
Depression,
No messiahs in this
sadness.
chat.
No, fuck the Messiah.
He can go.